I've been watching Speed streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love. And
you're scrolling at 2 a.m. when you see a young black American standing in what looks like Manhattan, except it's Lagos, it's Nairobi, it's Johannesburg, and everything you thought you knew about an entire continent just crumbles. That's what's happening to millions watching Ishowspeed's African tour. We're talking about grown men in tears, young women finally understanding what home means, and an entire generation questioning everything they were taught about the motherland. Something massive is shifting in real time, all started by a 20-year-old streamer with a camera and zero filter. So what's really going on here? Let me take you on this journey, because trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see Africa differently as well. Ishowspeed has 50 million subscribers who hang on his every move. Late December, this guy decided to do something bold. He launched a tour called Speed Does Africa, hitting 15 countries in just 28 days. And here's the thing, millions of people tuned in to watch a young black American visit places most of his viewers only knew from charity commercials and depressing news segments. What they saw absolutely shattered their reality. Because Africa was nothing like the stereotypes, not even close. Instead of the imaginary wild jungle or endless poverty they'd been shown their whole lives, Speed's camera revealed modern cities with glass skyscrapers touching the clouds, shopping malls that would make any American suburb jealous, highways packed with cars, people dressed in the latest fashion, living their lives with style and confidence. In South Africa, Speed literally raced a cheetah. In Angola, he played football with hundreds of kids who treated him like family. In Kenya, he hung out with Maasai warriors. He even attended a massive soccer final in Morocco, where the crowd went absolutely wild. Every single place he went, he was greeted by crowds of excited fans, dancing, singing, and treating him not like a celebrity from overseas, but like a brother coming home. For black American viewers, this wasn't just entertainment anymore. This was personal. This was seeing the motherland in a way the media had never shown them. And suddenly, people started waking up to the truth they'd been denied their whole lives. Speed wasn't trying to make some grand political statement. He was just being himself, streaming and having fun. But in those processes, he was doing damage control on generations of propaganda. The reactions tell the whole story. Thousands of comments from people admitting they had it completely wrong. Watching Speed walk through his shopping district in Accra and realizing they'd been fed lies. Seeing him eat jollof rice at a local spot and understanding that Africa isn't some monolithic struggle. It's vibrant and diverse and alive. Let's be brutally honest for a second. Growing up in America, what did most of us see about Africa? Those charity commercials with sad music and flies buzzing around malnourished children, right? Maybe some nature documentaries treating the entire continent like one big safari park. The result was predictable. Millions of people subconsciously pictured Africa as a single poor country. Dusty roads, wild animals just roaming around. Everyone is desperate and hopeless. That's the story we were sold. And now, thousands of people are admitting they fell for it. The shock is so real, it's almost funny. Except, it's also heartbreaking. People are genuinely surprised that African cities have Wi-Fi and shopping centers. They're amazed that folks are driving nice cars and wearing designer clothes. It's like watching someone discover that everything they've learned in school was filtered through a lens designed to keep them ignorant. One woman posted a video through tears talking about how she'd been taught Africa was dangerous and primitive. And here she was watching her brother be treated with love and respect by civilized African people. She said she couldn't wait to go herself. For so many in the diaspora, Speed's journey feels like a homecoming they didn't know they were waiting for. A connection awaiting, a desire to reconnect with roots they were told weren't worth exploring. And you want to know something that really drove this home? The contrast is impossible to ignore. During Speed's previous tours in some parts of Europe, he faced disgusting racism. people hurled slurs at him. Someone literally threw bananas at him. But in Africa, he's been embraced with open arms everywhere he goes. That difference hit so many black viewers right in the chest. Seeing one of their own family feel safe, celebrated, and at peace with the motherland became this powerful healing moment with wounds they didn't even know they were carrying. Let me break down some facts that Speed's stream highlighted the most. First off, Africa isn't a country. It's a massive continent, way bigger than most people realize. Thanks to map projections that distort size, Africa looks smaller than it really is. But in reality, you could fit the United States, China, India, and most of Europe combined into Africa's land area. You could fit the USA 3 times over. It's 54 countries, not one. Speed, hopping from nation to nation, really drove that home. Each place had its own culture, language, vibe, and history. Treating Africa like one place is like treating all of Europe and Asia as the same country. It's absurd when you think about it. Here's another one that blew minds. Africa has 1.55 billion people, and it's the youngest continent on Earth. The median age is about 19 years old. Compare that to Europe, where the median age is around 43. Think about what that means. This is a continent bursting with youth, energy, and potential. Over 75% of Africans are under 35, which means trends in music, fashion, and technology spread like wildfire. This shocked viewers who assumed underdevelopment stuck in the past, but Africa's youth are tech-savvy, creative, and globally connected. And speaking of modern, here's a statistic that floored people. Almost 45% of Africa's population lives in cities. Yes, there are rural villages and beautiful countryside, but hundreds of millions live in urban areas with skyscrapers, reliable internet, and all the amenities you'd expect anywhere else. In fact, Africa is the fastest urbanizing region in the world. According to the United Nations, all 15 of its world's fastest growing cities are in Africa right now: Lagos, Nairobi, and Johannesburg. These places are expanding at lightning speed with shiny new developments and startup hubs everywhere. Watching Speed drive through these cities looked exactly like driving through any other major metropolitan area, because that's exactly what they are. Now, let's talk about the economy, because this is where it gets really interesting. Despite everything we've been told, many African economies are booming. Here's a wild fact. 9 of the world's 20 fastest growing economies in 2024 are in Africa. Countries like Rwanda, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal have growth rates that outpace major Western economies. There's a thriving middle class, massive investments in infrastructure, and innovation happening everywhere. Speed's audiences saw fancy cars on the roads and construction cranes dominating skylines. Those are the signs that business is happening. Africa isn't just sitting around waiting for aid, it's building and hustling. And when we say Africa is blessed, we mean it literally. The continent is incredibly rich in natural resources. Africa holds about 30% of the world's mineral reserves: golds, diamonds, copper, and cobalt, which is crucial for your smartphone batteries. It's also got 12% of the world's oil and 18% of natural gas. And here's something that should make everyone pay attention. Africa has about 60% of the world's uncultured, arable land. If you're looking for the future breadbasket of the world, you're looking at Africa. So this stereotype of a land of scarcity is completely false. It's a land of plenty. But perhaps the most beautiful thing Speed's viewers discovered is Africa's soul. It's the music, the dances, the fashion, the pure vibe of the places he visited. African culture influences the entire world, even when people don't realize it. Niagara's film industry, Nollywood, produces around 2,500 films a year. It's the world's second largest film industry by volume, right behind Bollywood. African musicians are topping global charts. Have you ever heard of Afro beats? Artists like Burna Boy and Wizkid rack up billions of streams and win Grammy Awards. Burna Boy won Best Global Music Album, putting Niagara on the Grammy map in a way that made the world pay attention. African creativity has been driving global pop culture, and now it's impossible to ignore. When Speed was dancing to local music in streets or wearing traditional clothes gifted by fans, viewers felt that joy radiating through the screens. This is a continent bursting with art, innovation, and expression that refuses to be contained. So with all these facts and all this first-hand footage, millions of Americans are asking themselves the same question. How did we not know this? It's a mix of shock, excitement, and honestly, a bit of embarrassment. The ignorance wasn't entirely our fault, though when negative imagery is all the media shows us, how would we know better unless we actively search for the truth ourselves? Let's talk about why this matters so much. The dominant story about Africa and Western media has been negative and oversimplified for decades. News outlets focus on conflicts, poverty, or safari wildlife, rarely on everyday successes. There's a reason for that, rooted deep in history. During colonial times and even after, portraying Africa as backward or chaotic helped justify exploitation, kept the African dysphoria connected from their heritage. And believe it or not, a recent report found that negative stereotypes in international media actually cost African nations an extra £3.2 billion a year in higher interest on loans. That's a prejudice premium being paid just because of bad public relations. But this narrative is changing, and we're watching it change in real time. Social media and creators like Ishowspeed are bypassing the old gatekeepers. Instead of some outsider filming a biased documentary, we have a young black man live streaming genuine interactions with locals, showing the beautiful and the mundane, the challenges and the triumphs, all raw and unedited. It's hard to cling to the old ideas after you've seen the truth with your own eyes. For Africans and the dysphoria, seeing these reactions is bittersweet. On one hand, there's pride. Finally, the world is seeing the side of Africa they've always known. The clean cities, the entrepreneurs, the vibrant nightlife, and the respect and hospitality that are woven into their cultures. Many travelers say Africans are the most hospitable people they've ever met. Speed experienced that love everywhere. On the other hand, there's this feeling of what took you so long, but honestly, better late than never. We also can't ignore the emotional depth here. For Black Americans whose ancestors were taken from Africa centuries ago, the continent has often been a mix of mystery and longing. There's a reason movements like Ghana's Year of Return in 2019 were so successful. That year, Ghana invited the dysphoria to come visit home, resulting in a 45% jump in airport arrivals and an 18% tourism spike. Thousands made a pilgrimage to reconnect with their roots. Now Speed's digital tour is sparking that same feeling among young people who maybe never considered Africa before. Suddenly, Lagos or Johannesburg or Nairobi is on their bucket list. I want to feel what it's like to be unapologetically black in a place where everyone is black. To not be in minority for once, to feel that embrace. It's powerful in ways that are hard to put into words. In the end, this is bigger than one streamer. Sure, Ishowspeed is entertaining millions and inadvertently educating them, but he's the part of a larger movement of the African dysphoria, reconnecting with the continent and changing perceptions. People are starting to see Africa not as a charity case or some exotic adventure backdrop, but as a real place with real people, as home. As for me, I'm already planning my trip. There's this electric feeling in the air, like a reunion that's been waiting to happen. I want to walk the streets of Lagos and feel that rhythm everyone talks about. I want to see Accra's art scene. I want to go on safari in Kenya and check out the tech startups in Nairobi's Silicon Savannah. There's so much to experience, and it's all waiting.